Hey everyone, I'm Gian.
And I'm Jesse.
We're your hosts and Hyundai product specialists, and this is another special head-to-head edition of Hyundai Showroom Walkaround.
Now, Gian, in our past videos, we've been talking a lot about SUVs and a lot about electric vehicles. Well, today, we got both.
That's right, Jesse. We're going to be comparing three all-electric SUVs. The 2022 IONIQ 5 Limited,
the 2022 Ford Mustang Mach-E Premium, and the 2021 Volkswagen ID.4 Pro S.
Okay, before we get going on the walkthroughs, Jesse's going to hit us with the numbers.
Mach-E has a standard range of 224 miles with all-wheel drive. It's got 266 horsepower and is priced at $49,100. ID.4 has a range of 250 miles without all-wheel drive. It's got 201 horsepower and is priced at $44,495. IONIQ 5 Limited has a range of 256 miles with all-wheel drive. It's got 320 horsepower and is priced at $55,000.
So, we got three mid-size SUVs that seat up to 5, but they're clearly much more than that. They're major newcomers that are already getting people even more excited about electrified vehicles.
At the same time, though, they have to have all the things that people want in their SUVs, like versatility, safety, tech, comfort, and capability. So, Gian, how do they stack up?
Good question. Let's kick things off by answering another question: how do they look? And IONIQ 5 truly stands out in that department with its retro-futuristic look and unique proportions. It's unlike any SUV or EV you've ever seen.
Now, the Mach-E has a sporty, muscular style that I gotta say, Gian, really lives up to the Mustang part in its name. And as for ID.4, it's got that contemporary jelly bean design that's popular with a lot of EVs. Now, both ID.4 and Mach-E have a lot of curves, while IONIQ 5 uses bolder geometric shapes.
The edges make for a clean and elegant look. What about the front? The pixel-inspired LED lights are really something else. I mean, they're a defining feature of an exterior that defies definition. And take a look at the gorgeous LED accent lighting that runs the entire front end, right underneath those headlights. Now, I'm a huge fan of the clamshell hood. Look how it uses fewer panel gaps. And then down below, you have your active grille shutters, which automatically open to improve airflow and help cool down the battery pack. And they automatically close when you park, like this.
The Mach-E borrows a few design elements from conventional Mustang cars. As you can see from the extended hood, 3-bar light signature on the LED headlamps, and of course, that iconic logo. As for the ID.4, it has LED projector headlights and a backlit logo connected by a light strip across the front.
What about the profiles? Not having a gas powertrain means all three SUVs have a longer wheelbase and shorter overhangs. So, how are they different? IONIQ 5 has an aerodynamic profile that's quite distinctive, with a bold form, sleek roofline, sharp lines, and the shallow overhangs on the front and rear ends I just mentioned.
Now, the Mach-E goes for a more aggressive stance, with its muscular rear fenders and long nose. And Gian, that sloping roofline to the back makes its shape a little less SUV-like than the other two. And the ID.4 has nice, clean lines. A silhouette, Gian, that's not too different from traditional SUVs.
And of course, the striking 20-inch alloy wheels. They're the largest you'll find on any electric Hyundai.
The Mach-E wheels are 19 inches, while the ID.4 has 20-inch alloys.
Aerodynamics are especially important when it comes to electric vehicles because they help to extend range. That's why IONIQ 5 has door handles that sit flush to help reduce drag. And they automatically pop open once they detect your key fob as you approach the door. And yes, you're looking at the power folding side mirrors with LED turn signal indicators.
As for the Mach-E, there actually are no door handles. You push a button on the pillar and grab a latch. The ID.4's doors have handles, but they don't move. You just need to push a button under the handle and pull it open.
On the rear of IONIQ 5, here are those beautiful LED pixels again. This time inside unique rectangular tail lamps. And just like in the front, it has the LED accent lighting. It runs the width of the tailgate, just below the taillights for another nice lighting detail. Now up here, you have a twin array aero roof spoiler that smooths airflow.
Now, Gian, like every Mustang, Mach-E has those signature tri-bar taillights and Galloping Horse logo. Now, the ID.4's rear taillights are connected by an LED light strip that goes across the back.
As mentioned earlier, all three electric SUVs benefit from not having a gas powertrain. They have longer than expected wheelbases. Take IONIQ 5, for instance. It's similar in length to Tucson, one of our compact SUVs, but it's got a longer wheelbase than the three-row Palisade.
Not surprisingly, it's also longer than both Mach-E and ID.4, which means more space and more comfort inside IONIQ 5 for passengers and cargo. Now, when comparing electric vehicles, you gotta talk charging, right, Gian?
Absolutely. The IONIQ 5 is the first Hyundai model built on the new eGMP, which stands for Electric Global Modular Platform. And every future model in Hyundai's new EV series will be built on it thanks to its remarkable flexibility. It's a big reason why IONIQ 5 has the quickest DC ultra-fast charging speed of any mainstream brand. Charges from 10% to 80% in about 18 minutes. In just 5 minutes, you get about 68 miles of range.
Wow, that is seriously impressive, Gian. Now, it doesn't look like Mach-E or ID.4 has ultra-fast DC charging at all.
Level 3 chargers can be found at public charging stations and shopping center garages. Now, Jesse, with this type of charging, IONIQ 5 is the fastest of the group at 25 minutes.
And finally, Level 2 are the 240-volt household outlets used for heavier appliances like dryers and water heaters.
IONIQ 5 has a 120-volt onboard generator to supply power for larger electric equipment and appliances. So, Jesse, you could plug in a TV or that espresso machine for that glamping trip, and you can even charge something bigger, like another electric vehicle.
That's something you can't do with Mach-E. And the ID.4 doesn't have that capability either.
We talked about how having no gas powertrain gives EVs more space inside. But IONIQ 5 does more than just have extra room. It feels like a modern, spacious lounge. The open, thoughtful layout really takes advantage of the bigger interior, which feels even more open with its vision roof. A single panel glass ceiling that has no beam going across.
The Mach-E has an interior that's pretty sporty, and it's got a panoramic glass roof, as does the ID.4. Speaking of which, the ID.4 is going for a sleek, minimalist look.
So Jesse, what about legroom?
Well, they're pretty similar in the front row with the edge going to ID.4. But when it comes to rear legroom, IONIQ 5 is best in class.
On IONIQ 5, the front seats take luxury to another level. You're gonna love this, Jesse. The driver's seat has a relaxation function that reclines all the way back. And check this out, it's got a leg rest too.
Oh, that's nice. I wish the driver's seat in Mach-E had that too. Now, the ID.4 driver's seat has 12-way power adjustment and massage lumbar support. So, Gian, it's comfy, but no leg rest here either.
IONIQ 5's front seats are slimmer to provide that best in-class space for backseat passengers. With all that room, you can move the rear seats forward and even recline.
You can't do either of those in the Mach-E rear seats. Also, Gian, you can definitely feel the difference in legroom. You can't recline or move the rear seats in the ID.4 either.
The inside of IONIQ isn't just spacious, it's customizable too. We talked about how the battery structure gives EVs a flatter floor. Well, the IONIQ 5's center console takes advantage of this in a brilliant way. You can slide it back and forward for more space and flexibility.
Well, Mach-E has a center console with the armrest hovering above it, but you can't move it. As for ID.4, the center console is pretty standard looking. But overall, Gian, I would say that all three have shown how electric innovation goes way beyond the powertrain. It inspires interesting changes in other areas of the vehicles too.
Agreed. And IONIQ 5 seems to embrace this a bit more. Now, Jesse, speaking of innovation, let's get into the tech features. Technology is obviously a big deal when it comes to electric vehicles. So how do these three compare? Let's find out. IONIQ 5 has what you would call the keys to your future. The Hyundai Digital Key transforms your smartphone into a key fob. Or you can use this handy key card. Place it next to the door to unlock it, use it to turn on the engine, and you can even share it with friends and family members by sending your digital key to their Android smartphone. So Jesse, what about the Mach-E?
It's got one too, which works with both Android and Apple phones.
And ID.4?
And not available.
What about remote smart parking assist? IONIQ 5 Limited can park itself, even when you're not inside. All you have to do is push the smart key button. It will be able to back into and pull out of a tight parking spot. And get this, it can even parallel park.
Wow. Well, both of these vehicles can park themselves, but not remotely. The driver does have to be inside while they're parking.
IONIQ 5 has two 12.25-inch screens integrated seamlessly across the dash for an elegant, streamlined design. And the interface on both screens are clean and easy to read.
The Mach-E has a 15.5-inch touchscreen that takes up the middle, a similar approach that you would see in a Tesla. But outside of that, Gian, the rest of the dash is pretty normal, with a 10.2-inch driver's display mounted behind the steering wheel. The ID.4 has a 12-inch touchscreen display and a small 5.3-inch digital instrument cluster that's attached to the steering wheel. Interesting choice.
Except for that, the design seems pretty conventional. We're not done with cool displays yet. IONIQ 5 Limited has a premium heads-up display that literally shows you the way using augmented reality. And Jesse, it also projects some of the info for the SmartSense driving features.
You won't find one in the Mach-E or the ID.4.
What about dynamic voice recognition? You can use your voice to control the windows, trunk, climate control, seats, and more.
Please say a command.
Open liftgate.
Opening the lift gate.
All right, let's see. Turn on seat warmer. Open liftgate. Now, I guess Gian, Mach-E doesn't have it. Open liftgate. Neither does ID.4.
So, you saw that IONIQ 5 has an exterior 120-volt outlet in the charge port, where you can plug in bigger electronics. Guess what? There's a second one inside. Just plug in your laptop and turn your IONIQ 5 into a mobile office.
Nothing to charge your laptop inside Mach-E or ID.4.
Like every new Hyundai, IONIQ 5 protects you and your passengers with Hyundai SmartSense, an intelligent network of cameras and sensors that act like an extra set of eyes to help keep you aware of what's around you.
Now, all three of these electric SUVs have some key safety features standard, like forward collision avoidance assist with pedestrian detection, smart cruise control with stop and go, and blind spot collision avoidance assist. So Gian, let's take a look at the innovations that they don't have in common.
Like the new Highway Driving Assist 2, which is like having a co-pilot watching the road in all directions. It helps to keep you centered in your lane, maintaining a safe distance from the vehicle in front of you, and can even change lanes when you use your turn signal.
Mach-E has something similar called Blue Cruise, but ID.4 doesn't have it.
What about Safe Exit Assist? Hyundai was the first to feature this technology. So Jesse, let's say you're pulled over on the side of the road and someone in the back seat is about to get out. Well, if the radar senses a vehicle coming from behind, it'll give audio and visual warnings. It can even prevent the child safety lock from unlocking.
Wow, that sounds pretty great, Gian, but it's not available on Mach-E or ID.4.
Finally, here's one of the cooler safety features, blind spot view monitor. When you're changing lanes and you put your turn signal on, cameras on the side mirrors show you your blind spot view monitor, right there for a quick glance on your instrument cluster. So your eyes remain forward, staying alert to what's ahead.
You're right, Gian, that does sound cool. But unfortunately, it's not on Mach-E or ID.4.
And finally, we need to talk about how these companies take care of you once you're an owner of their vehicles. And when you buy your IONIQ 5, you know Hyundai has your back because you get America's best warranty, which is a 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Now, Ford has a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, while Volkswagen's powertrain limited warranty is 4 years, 50,000 miles.
Every new Hyundai is backed by a 5-year or 60,000-mile new vehicle limited warranty.
Ford has a 3-year, 36,000-mile new vehicle limited warranty, and Volkswagen has a 4-year, 50,000-mile new vehicle limited warranty.
Hyundai has a 5-year unlimited miles of 24-hour roadside assistance.
Ford offers a 5-year, 60,000-mile roadside assistance program, while Volkswagen gives you 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first.
Now, Jesse, like every new electric and hybrid Hyundai model, IONIQ 5 is backed by a 10-year or 100,000-mile electric limited battery warranty.
Ford and Volkswagen's warranties are both for 8 years or 100,000 miles.
Hyundai goes to great lengths to ensure the build quality of all of its vehicles, which is why it produces its own advanced high-strength steel for its vehicles.
All right, well, we have reached the end here of our special head-to-head edition of Hyundai Showroom Walkaround.
You got to see a side-by-side comparison of 3 top competitors in one of the hottest categories right now, electric SUVs.
Now, Gian, they're all striking with their sleek aerodynamic styling, longer wheelbases, and short overhangs. But I gotta say, when you see all of them at the same time like this, IONIQ 5 really stands apart. And its ingenious interior space does more to take advantage of the fact that it is an electric vehicle. I mean, IONIQ 5 really embraces the future.
And Jesse, not just with design either. I mean, all 3 of these SUVs are terrific when it comes to range. Not to mention some really innovative tech and safety features. But IONIQ 5 still manages to do things the others don't, like the blind spot view monitor and the vehicle to load outlets. And don't forget, Jesse, that ultra-fast charging speed, it's a game changer.
You aren't kidding with that 18-minute approximate charging speed. Okay, well, that does it for this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon on another episode of Hyundai Showroom Walkaround.